Is it possible to scale your real estate business in terms of sales and transactions and gross commission income, but not scale the hours you put into your business? Building a business is not the easiest path. And when I say build a business, I mean it's a little different than just staying on that transaction treadmill. Building a business requires we look at systems and leverage, and there are certain myths about building a business that I want to dispel today. If you stick around to the end of the video, I want to give you a free report describing the 6 stages of business growth. It's our real estate business growth navigator. If you like the video, give me the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you turn notifications on. Let's first talk about the myths of growing a real estate business. And then I want to give you some tips on things you can do to crush those limiting beliefs and dispel the myths I'm about to share with you. So in terms of growing a business, it's a myth that we think we have to put in more hours to do more in our business. So as I scaled from a solo agent in 2007, 2008, I brought on an administrator. We went from 58 sides to 118 sides. Brought on a couple agents, went to 178 sides, and then ultimately 248, 312, over 400 transactions in a single year. When I look at some agents that become team leaders and scale their businesses, oftentimes in those growth years, they are putting in more hours. Their stress is increasing. The myth, though, is that it doesn't always have to be that way. There's a more elegant way to do this. We talk about a business built on blood and guts versus elegance and ease. And so the myth is that if you track your numbers, and we have something we call a business freedom index, where we look at the income you make from the business and the hours that you work, and the 6 stages of growth, your business freedom index increases along the way. So when I got into real estate, for me, it was about focusing on the things I could impact or touch on a daily basis that made me the most amount of money. First year in real estate, I made less than $20 an hour. Just a handful of years later, I made $2,300 an hour in my real estate business. And I worked a whole lot less hours and I made a whole lot more money. So that's the myth, is that you don't have to put in more hours to make more money. Another common myth about growing a real estate business is the fact that you don't have to know how to do all the things to grow. And what I mean by that is that I never sold anything before I became a real estate agent. I hadn't built marketing systems. I hadn't hired or managed people. I had never built a business before. I was just willing to sort of fail fast in all of those things and really fail faster than most people that I knew. Like I said, I went from a solo agent in 2008, hiring my first administrator, to building a plan in 2009 that had me selling 250 homes in 2012. And I hit that goal, and I sold 1 home that year in 2012 out of 248 sides from our team. So this myth that you have to know how to do all these things, or you have to have prior experience, or hey, it's easier for that agent or team leader. You're looking around in your market and you're seeing these other people grow. In your mind, you may be thinking, they probably had some experience, or they have some skill set that I don't have. That is a myth that you need to crush right now if you're going to be successful and build a business that's sustainable, a business that you can be in for the long term. The last myth I want to go through is this myth that you have to give a ton of money to folks that are better marketers than you. And here's what I mean by that. Most real estate teams, as they scale on a weak foundation, a shaky foundation in terms of lead generation. Marketing is not paying Zillow 5, 10, 20. We've had members paying Zillow up to $70,000 a month. And they say, I'm awesome at marketing. Look at all these leads I have coming in. Zillow 4x'd the cost of their leads, which in turn drove return on investment into the floor. And so the myth is that I can only scale if I pay for leads. And that's not true. We just have a different way that we approach it. We scale our businesses through our ability to provide a world-class service to our clients. They sing our praises, we use that back in the marketing, and the business naturally scales and builds upon itself. So that's a myth that just is not true. Here are 3 tips that you can use right away to scale your business without losing your life in the process. I mentioned lead generation, and here is my advice. Focus on 2 or 3 lead gen levers. That's what we call them in Real Estate B School. 2 to 3 lead gen levers that you can go 50 transactions deep on. So when I'm looking at a business plan and you want to go from, let's say, 50 sides to 100 sides or 150 sides, 150 sides only requires three lead gen pillars. So your database, yard marketing, and expired FSBOs, for example. It's not as complicated as we make it out to be. The second tip I'll give you is that you need to start thinking about your business as a system of systems. So the reason why, a lot of agents, as they scale, they work more hours, is that they really don't have these systems set up in their business. Anything that you do more than once a month, think about that. If you do something twice a month, you need to build a system for it so that you can delegate it to someone else in the business. It's delegate to elevate. We have an exercise that we call passion versus pay. And essentially there's 4 quadrants. There's high passion, high pay, low passion, high pay, and low passion, low pay. So in terms of knowing where you're spending your time, you need to be really clear. The things you love to do that pay you a lot of money, there may be things you're spending time on that you love to do but don't pay a whole lot of money, like showing homes, for example. So if you want to do more in less time, make more money in less time, sell more homes in less time, you need to pay attention to this concept of delegating so that you can elevate in your business, not just from technician to manager to entrepreneur, but literally elevate in terms of your compensation. The last tip I'll give you is to build your ideal week and make it a reality. And here's what I mean by that. Every quarter, I sketch on paper Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday in half-hour increments what I want my week to look like that coming quarter. And it's not perfect every quarter, yet I sort of draw a line in the sand about what I want my life to look like, and tactically and practically how I'm gonna build that out of my calendar. If it's not in my calendar, it is not happening. And if I don't project, in advance, plan what I want my calendar to look like, my ideal week, the chances that it happens are really, really slim. So are you just kind of mind-numbingly going through your business, just sort of letting every day happen, wake up and see what's in your email? You don't have a real intentional plan to live a life or design a life and then live a life by design, right? So if you're not planning your week, the chances that you get there are super slim, and we want you to have the best chances of actually creating a life and living it out. This process of doing more in less time, it's one that takes practice. And my encouragement for you is to not think about this as like, this month, this has to happen, and sort of put everything on the line and put pressure on the short term, right? Play the long game in your business. What's possible in 3, 5, or 10 years? Look at where you are today. Be honest with yourself. The good, bad, ugly about where you are today, and think about what's possible in the future, and just realize that all of these limiting beliefs, these myths that you can't do more in less time, or maybe you're not qualified to lead or manage people, or maybe you're not good at numbers or building systems, whatever those limiting beliefs, those myths that are filling up your mind, let them go and just take one step at a time. If you want a report, a blueprint, a roadmap of all the 6 stages of growth in a real estate business, grab a free copy of the Real Estate Business Growth Navigator. Just go to realestatebusinessgrowth.com. That's realestatebusinessgrowth.com, or click on the link below. If you like the video, give me the thumbs up. It helps us with the Google juice. And subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. We'll see you in the next video.